Welcome back to another Gentleman Briefly. These are the episodes where we talk shorter. We talk about different subjects that we don't normally talk about on the feed. And once again, my name is Jordan. I'm one of the co-hosts of the League of Melanated Gentlemen. And today we have a returning guest. It's my boy Philip. Philip, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Jordan. Thanks for having me again, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so as you've heard on the first episode, me and Philip go way back to middle school, and I feel like we kind of definitely reconnected in our
hmm
adult years.
hmm
And it's been a really great time. And I was like, hey, we have great conversations,
hmm
and we both like Mortal Kombat as we've already discussed. And I was like, let's continue this thing.
Yeah,
So
I agree, man. We really have gotten closer in our adult years and everything, and I'm ready to talk about this, ready to get into it.
yeah. So on the last episode, we kind of gave our favorite characters in Mortal Kombat. This time, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Since this episode is dropping after the release of Mortal Kombat 1, we're going to talk about some DLC characters. So we are going to talk about kind of some wish list DLC characters and characters we want to see pop up in Mortal Kombat. And who knows, maybe we might get some of these right. But before we start, I want to say, so there's already been some confirmed DLC, the DLC pack 1. Philip, is there going to be a DLC pack 2? Do you
There's
know?
rumors and stuff, but nothing official, nothing Facebook official.
Gotcha. So the first DLC pack that coming out, I'll just kind of go over the quick lineup. We got Quan Chi, coming out. He's been around for years. Everyone knows him. We got Ermac. He's not a new character. He's been around for a while, but some people may not know who Ermac is. What do you feel about Ermac? You like him?
I don't really care for Ermac personally, but I had some friends growing up who always really liked Ermac, call him the Mac Attack. Uh, And I like his character somewhat. I like how he's like one being comprised of many souls and an experiment by
Yeah,
Shang Tsung. And in one of the storylines in the 3D era games, Katana's dad's soul is in his body. So he had some really good character building in the 3D era with its mediocre characters. But he
yeah.
really did shine at that point. But he wasn't in 11. He was in X, and I'm excited to see how they do him again on one for sure.
Yeah. And like I mentioned on the first episode, if there's anything when it comes to Mortal Kombat, my guy Philip he's the beast. He is a walking Google encyclopedia when it comes to Mortal Kombat knowledge.
I think it's borderline obsessive how much I like Mortal Kombat. But yeah, man, I love the franchise ever since Deadly Alliance, and
Yeah.
just ever since then it's been hot fire. Even MK versus DC gets a pass in my book.
Okay. Uh Another character from the Mortal Kombat DLC that we kind of know, and this is actually one of the newer characters in the series, Takeda, which
Yeah.
if people don't know who Takeda is, he is actually the son of Kenshi and he was
hmm
trained by Scorpion.
Yeah.
So nice to see him return. I'm interested to see how he plays out again.
Yeah. He
Um,
was big he was big in Mortal Kombat X. I really thought he was cool, so I am also really excited for him.
and then to kind of finish off these last three from this first pack, this is surprising to me because I saw an interview recently saying that these two characters are going to play completely different, which I'm happy to hear that, considering they
Oh
are
yeah.
a Superman clone. But we have Omni Man from
hmm
Invincible. If people don't know who that is, he's a
Voiced by
Superman,
J.K. Simmons.
voiced by J.K. Simmons, the J.K. Simmons.
hmm
And then for people who have seen The Boys, we have Homelander returning.
hmm
So it's going to be interesting to see him as well. And then to end off this first DLC pack, we got Peacemaker from
hmm
DC.
Suicide
So
Squad.
yeah, so interesting lineup. And so that kind of inspired this episode. And let's go and get into it. So Philip, I'm
It
going to
is
go first.
excellent.
Uh, we have three characters each, and if we have
hmm
time, we'll kind of get to some honorable mentions. But I'm gonna get into it. My first character, I think, would be a good addition. Is actually Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the
Okay.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
The reason I picked him is because he's kind of a big build. He'd
hmm
be kind of like a big bruiser character, but also he has his daggers that would be great. I feel like fatality wise, like I feel like it fits into the Mortal Kombat universe.
Right.
He's a hand-to-hand combat fighter. I think it would be an excellent addition. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'd be cool. I have a Marvel guy on my list. I wish it would happen. You know, WB would never let that kind of stuff happen, but a man can dream. I
Yeah,
think Drax, I think he'd be real cool. I think, with the way that he doesn't really think a lot with how he fights, he just swings and hits hard and just
yeah,
he could be a really good, if they don't put Jax in Mortal Kombat 1, he could be a really good grappler character
yeah,
as well, because he's all about the bear hugs and the slams and not the most
yeah.
agile fighter. So I think I think that would be really awesome.
That's also Jax is the one I was thinking of, like that this Drax could kind of play like he's the big
Mhm.
character, but also he has the daggers as well, which like I said, I think it'd be a cool fatality to see.
Yeah, of course. Uh,
So who do you got?
Man, since you came out the gate with Marvel, I think I'm gonna have to come out the gate with Marvel. I knew I'd have to, talking to my boy who likes Marvel just as much as me. And I want to say Wolverine because I know how much you love Wolverine, man. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with I think it's a toss up, but Sabretooth, I think as because if they were to put someone, it would be a villain who is definitely visceral, definitely not that you're okay with seeing getting mutilated and fatality
yeah,
and everything. And I think Sabretooth would be a really cool pick because of how, feral he is and with the hands and the claws and he could bite people and definitely kind of because, I was just playing Injustice the other day and they have a Cheetah on there. And as I was playing
yeah,
with Cheetah on that game, I was like, man, I can't really think of many claw-oriented combatants in Mortal Kombat. And so
yeah.
my initial thought was Wolverine, of course, because he's the boy, he's the
He would be the
man.
fan favorite for sure.
Right. But I think as a cool opposite to him, but still fitting that bill could be Sabretooth.
Yeah. And I can also see him, like you mentioned Biden, when you mentioned that, like it automatically took me to Baraka or even
Yeah.
Melina, the way kind of on the fatalities they do like a
Hmm.
lot of biting.
Hmm.
I could also see him doing that as well. And I could see him like ripping out somebody's throat and then like licking the
Right.
blood and off his claws.
Right.
I
Right.
can definitely see that.
That would be dope because then you saying, licking his claws. Melina's the only person relatively like that does that kind of gruesomeness with claws and everything like
Yeah.
that. But um, you know, that's amazing. I'm just not a big fan of Melina. Don't tell anyone, please.
I mean,
But
I feel like that's fair though. That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. But I just think it would be cool to see, some creature like that could rip the throat, rip the abdomen, and then lick the finger and then bite you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's not like a small character. So like Wolverine would be like a small character almost.
Right.
Like he'll be a big build, but I feel like
Unless you're playing Midnight Suns.
Sabretooth. I know, unless you're playing Midnight Suns. But Sabretooth, I feel like we traditionally see him kind of bigger, a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
kind of tall. Like he's not like Goro level tall,
Hmm.
but I mean he's still pretty big.
Yeah, kind of like a what I would picture. I don't know if you played Mortal Kombat X, but they had a Ferrator,
Yeah,
kind
I know
of,
you're talking
kind
about.
of, kind of what Tor, her big hulking guy, a little bit smaller than that, but maybe a Shao Kahn size.
Yeah. Okay. So my second character,
Hmm.
and you have to follow me on this one. And I know
Okay.
this will like never happen. People flip out, but I
Yeah,
wanted to pick a female character. Okay,
I'm
I
with
wanted
you.
to
Hit me.
go. I wanted to go with Avatar Korra. Okay,
Okay.
I was at first I was leaning toward Aang, but I feel like Korra is more of a hand to hand big boxer, big bruiser. Like she was like down with the hands. And I
Hmm.
think like her play style would be great because she can still use all the elements. We see all the elements already in Mortal Kombat. And
Yeah,
so I
Sentry
think
on.
yeah, I feel like to put her in it would easily slide. Now, I know that she's a more of a kid cartoon character, so like I don't know how
Yeah,
people would feel about seeing her get her head ripped off or like ripping off someone's head, but
right.
it would be like amazing for me to see. And plus she because she is a fighter, she's pretty quick at fighting as well.
Yeah,
So she can
yeah.
also be kind of like a smaller, quicker character. And then I just
Mm.
think about her fatality. She goes into her avatar state and just like obliterate someone, like just use all the elements. To me, it would be really cool to see, but I know Nickelodeon isn't going to let that out. But
Would
if I could do
would
it, I would include her. She's a good one.
Yeah, I can't say that I support that idea. I gotta go with the masses on this one and just, the idea of watching Korra do something to somebody like you would do and have done to you on Mortal Kombat. That's not my Korra's a sweet girl. She don't need to go down
I
that
know,
path.
I know, it's rough because like she's a teenager, and if at first I was going to pick adult Aang, because
Okay.
since we kind of seen him in in some of the series, but then I was like, no, I really want to include a female character,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, Cora's right there, so I still think she would be a pretty cool addition. I would just think about all her bending abilities would make
hmm
some really fantastic moves to
hmm
incorporate, but yeah,
I
that's gonna be a rough one.
I think next time they make an injustice, and if you want to have another talk with me like that, I think we can put Korra on the table.
Gotcha, that's fair.
No, no. I think she could be a cool fighting game character, especially in the context of Mortal Kombat, because Spider-Man's that same to me. I think he would look really cool, but I would never want to see him in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So a game that would be stylized similarly, but I could definitely see the coolness of Korra for sure. Um,
Yeah, I feel like I would see Korra in like a Street Fighter versus Capcom type game,
yeah, okay,
like
yeah,
in Marvel
yeah,
versus Capcom. Like I would see
yeah.
her there, where it's not like
Street
as a
Fighter.
visceral as Mortal Kombat is.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that, especially with how fast paced, and she would definitely fit the bill with fast paced, elemental, crazy, bombastic action.
Yeah,
You mentioning that you felt like uh uh that you had to include a female character as a guest character because Mortal Kombat really hasn't had a female guest character, so I also felt um an obligation just to shake the boat a little bit, rock it a little bit, and
yeah.
so um. I was torn between two female characters, but I'll make one an honorable mention if we get there. But I got to
Okay.
give it to early 2000s Blood Rain. You ever
Oh
play those
yeah,
games?
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking
Okay,
about.
okay, Blood Rain. She's a kind of a Scarlet-esque vampire assassin girl, an obscure character that, people who know who she is would be like, "Oh, what?" Um, and I just think she could be a really cool vampiric character with blood magic and I played the games a little bit when I was younger, didn't really play too much into them, but I think she could be the idea of her could be really, really cool to me.
Yeah, and man, the fact that you just brought up Blood Rain, I have not seen Blood Rain in quite a long time.
I think they
Um,
made an anime or something about it too, or a
oh
cartoon
shoot, I didn't know that.
or
But
a movie. I might be tripping.
she also has access to weapons as well. So I do agree. I do think that she would fit right in. Isn't
Hmm.
there she would almost remind me of what's the vampire girl's name? Remember she had the wings and everything.
Nitara.
She yeah, that's
Hmm.
who it would almost
Yeah,
remind me of.
right.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
that, and
that's who it
she's
remind me of.
she's a lot of people in the community really want that character in this game, Nitara. So I think uh, if that were to happen, then I think we might be able to see something similar to the idea of Blood Rain in the game.
Yeah, it's also kind of cool for her because she also has access to guns, which I mean,
Yeah,
we have characters on Mortal Kombat who have guns. I mean, Striker
Aaron
has a
Black.
gun, Aaron Black has a gun, and so like she would also be a good mix of like having a gun and also having
Yeah.
like a sword dagger type thing as well.
Yeah, she could be really versatile and, have a double jump like she did in the game, or, a form transformation or something like that. It could be
Yeah,
really cool. It could be really cool.
yeah. Um, what are you picturing for like a fatality? I'm just curious.
For her,
Yeah,
you know, I don't really have anything good for you, but I guess just the classic, like to see a vampire type character actually like bite someone's neck, and it may be simple, it may not be the most cinematic one, but I think the just to see that in the game and how simple it could be if done really well, maybe that just something like that.
I'm gonna be honest. I think about fatalities a lot, especially when we're
Yeah.
coming up this list. So I automatically thought of one as you were talking. I picture her like jumping on the other character, biting the neck. But as she's biting the neck, she just takes her hand and like rips through her chest, pulls
Okay.
it out the heart, and then also
Yeah.
she rips off the throat.
Okay,
So,
you did think that through. I'm over here like, what have I seen in a movie recently? And you're over here
dude,
really painting a
I'm telling you,
picture.
it's like as soon as I see the character, I'm like, what would be a cool fatality? And it just comes
Right.
to my head.
Man, that makes me think like all the cool fatalities. Like, I guess we did talk about one with Sabretooth with him like licking blood and stuff. So that definitely would make sense.
Yeah,
And but that was a good one. You really thought that through. I'll have to give
dude,
you kudos for that one.
one of the, one of the big things for Mortal Kombat is the fatalities, and so I feel like
Yeah,
what is a Mortal Kombat game without a cool looking,
it's
fatality?
it's literally a core of the experience of Mortal Kombat. So you're totally
Right,
right.
right. Okay. My last character, and
Okay.
I'm struggling between these two. Is like who do I want to make the honorable mention and who do I really want
Hmm.
the game? Um, I'll have to just go with I have to go with my favorite. I have to go with Moon Knight. Um,
Yeah.
I think Moon Knight will fit right in with this
Hmm.
crowd.
Right.
Moon Knight is a straight hand to hand fighter. He prefers to take the punch. He is going to be the character that is going to do a lot of damage and also take a lot of damage. But I feel like he has to have some ability where the more damage he takes, like maybe the stronger his punches become. Um, and to me, to see the all, and for me, seeing the character model in all white, and then as they're fighting, you just see him get bloodier and bloodier. It's super cool. And also, I mean, he has
Yeah.
the dope ass suit, the Mister Knight outfit. How
Yeah.
dope would that be to see him just pull up all white suit, all white tux? It'd be perfect. And
Yeah.
then also he has access to weapons as well. He can rock his brass knuckles that he always has. He still has his Billy clubs as well.
Yeah.
So he can play a lot like uh Striker when he had his Billy club. And
Yeah. Yeah.
also somebody else had Billy clubs too.
Sonya Blade did back in the day
Oh,
on
back in the day,
Deception
yeah, yeah.
on
And
Deadly Alliance.
so yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, of course, I got a fatality in mind. I would just love to see
Okay.
him kind of shoot his Moon Knight grapple,
Hmm.
shoot it right through kind of someone's head, and then it like grabs the outside of it like it
Hmm.
would like a cliff, and he just pulls it real
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
couple gives a
Back.
couple pulls, and then it just pulls it
Yeah.
completely off.
And
So
you saying the give a couple pulls, definitely fits Moon Knight's bill of slight goofiness. Like he's not definitely to the Deadpool level of
yeah,
satire goofy, but definitely I could see him being like, oh shit, and then like really giving
yeah,
it a good yank and having a comedic effect with the fatality.
yeah.
That would be cool.
Also, what could also separate him from other characters is to play into like his personality switches. So
Yeah.
give each of his three personalities like three different fighting styles.
Hmm.
So when he's Moon Knight, he'll just be a straight bruiser.
Right.
When he's Jake Lockley, he can be like a fisticuffs, like knuckle type British, stance.
Yeah, and
And
then
then when
they
he's
give him
Stephen
a
Grant,
Khonshu. No,
yeah,
skip Stephen Grant. Go straight for Khonshu, bro.
just give him a conchu, so where I'll let him do like
Yeah,
some magical stuff.
give him the crow
That's
head,
fair.
you
Yeah,
know?
that would be actually kind of crazy to see that. That could be like an alternate costume.
Oh yeah, or like a form he takes for his fatalities, like maybe make a
Oh
fatality that's
yeah,
more spiritual and have him like, you know, hit somebody and then have the ancient spirits kind of like feed into them or something. I don't read a lot of Moonlight. I don't even know how it works, really, I guess, now that I'm just spitballing this stuff. But
no, that would be dope. So like the you were saying that, so I can see him kind of asking Conchu, like during a fatality, the screen goes black.
yeah.
You see Moon Knight praying. He's like, Conchu, I need your help. Conchu kind of goes and embodies Moon Knight, and then Moon Knight just basically, I don't know. I was talking, and then I was like, that wouldn't make sense. But I was like, Moon Knight would basically
I
take
did
him
the
and then
same.
rip him in half. I don't
Okay,
know,
yeah, yeah. I
but
mean, they've
yeah,
done
Moon Knight.
something like that before. It's where another entity comes and rips somebody in half. Like in 11, Shang Tsung has that fatality when he pulls out Kentaru and Kentaru rips out of your body through your chest. It's a really cool fatality.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So yeah, who?
Moon
So
Knight, uh, I should have known you were gonna make it all comic book characters
I will. So I had. I'll
minus
talk about my
Cora.
honorable mentions. Yeah, but I will say like I wanted Wolverine as well, but I was like
Yeah,
that might be too basic. Everyone
yeah,
probably wants Wolverine,
right,
so I was like I
right.
didn't pick one.
Right. Ed Boon has mentioned how he'd like to make a Marvel versus DC game again
Oh my
recently.
god,
Oh my God, bro, you're right.
I would love that so much.
That would be so much fire. There wouldn't be enough oxygen to sustain the heat.
Dude, I mean, just thinking of just the character rosters go nuts, not to even mention DLC characters. Yeah. I
Oh
would
man,
love for Ed Boon to do that.
we need more time for that whole thing.
Oh man. Oh yeah, it would be
Oh,
fantastic if we ever did that.
right, right. Um, Man, the last character, huh? Been
Yep.
struggling with this all day, but honestly, if I had to, so I try to get something in a different category every time, like my first one was
Yeah.
my comic book. The second one was, I wanted it to be a female, which was honestly really difficult when I was doing some research for it, because you really have to balance out, you know, not a lot of female characters are painted in the way that Mortal Kombat paints its characters with the bloodiness. Do you want to see someone rip Korra in half or have Korra
Yeah.
rip someone in half? And there's so many female characters that fit that bill in the exact same way. And so that's why I got with Blood Rain, because I was like, man, that it's the sweet spot. But with
Yeah.
my last DLC character, I gotta go Doom Slayer. I think Doom Slayer would be a perfect fit for Mortal Kombat. I don't know if you played Doom, any of the newer ones. Uh
I think I've only ever played like the original one.
yeah, yeah. On Doom 2016, they kind of implemented a whole gameplay style that allowed kills by like melee kills that were grotesque. And I wanted
Yeah.
to think of a character that really fit the gnarly grotesqueness of Mortal Kombat to
Yeah.
and the Doomslayer, he's punching people through the face and ripping out their demon eyes and has chainsaws and he's would definitely be a zoning character, but definitely could have some cool get in your face um material. And I know that the new games definitely promoted some like air abilities, like air
Yeah.
mobility on the newer Doom games that Bethesda published.
Hmm.
Uh, but and with Mortal Kombat 1 having air combat, I think a zoning character that also is all about gruesome, bloody kills that has extended mobility for air combat in this game would really just seem it's out of left field to me, but it really fits it checks all the boxes for a Mortal Kombat game.
He looks I mean, he looks pretty massive too. Like this is the first time
Hmm.
I'm seeing him like outside of like just seeing him first player.
Hmm.
He looks pretty massive too. So this might be a really good character actually to include. I see he has was it like a flame sword almost, and then I see he has
Yeah,
like a predator rocket type thing on his
right,
shoulder.
right. And
Um,
he has a killer shotgun. His shotgun in the game is a very main game or a very important gun in the game because it's a fast-paced game and you want to get in the face. And so he could definitely be a good have that shotgun, have some autos, because it's first person
yeah.
shooter.
So once again, like as you were talking about him, I had already and I was seeing images of him
Hmm.
for fatality wise. I was thinking he takes the shotgun, shoots you through the chest, and
Hmm.
your character, the other character, is still alive, and then basically, he can't open up portals himself, can he?
I haven't played the newest Doom all the way through,
Okay,
but
well, I was gonna
I
say
don't think
if
so.
he could open up portals, I would almost drop him in hell, kind of like Scorpion used to do,
Okay, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
and then have like a demon, or a monster or something eat that character, eat the other character.
See, I think he's too badass to call on help. You know what I mean? Although I really appreciate that sentiment, I do think the idea of that's cool, especially with your callback to saying how Scorpion would always take people to the Nether Realm. I mean, he even did
Yeah,
that in Injustice. That was his super in Injustice whenever he was the guest character. And
yeah,
but when I think of him, I think of him just like chainsawing someone and then punching them through the head. I just, visceral, easy, but blood splatter, body parts going everywhere.
yeah,
And then after like stabbing you, punching you in the face, then you pull out the shotgun and you just blow up their entire torso because that's the kind of craziness Mortal Kombat loves to do.
yeah. Uh, Chainsaw wasn't Jason on which Mortal Kombat was it?
Mortal
10
Kombat
or
X.
11?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
okay, that's what
Yeah.
I asked. Yeah,
And Leatherface, he had the chainsaw on there, and they had Leatherface, Predator, Alien, and Jason as their
yeah.
guest characters. The horror pack, the horror theme.
Okay, I said yeah, I thought so. Once we mentioned chainsaw.
Hmm.
Okay, um, we got a little bit of time left, so
Okay.
we can talk honorable mentions right quick.
All right.
Um, for me, I had this was the other one I was struggling with if I wanted to do Moon Knight or this character.
Okay.
Um, but this other character is an anime character from a show called Baki.
Okay.
This is Baki Hanma. You
Okay.
know who
Yeah.
Baki is?
I worked with some people who used to like that show, and I've seen it advertised on Netflix when I scroll through my anime.
Yeah. So Baki honestly would fit right in because Baki, the show itself, is also very bloody, kind of
Right.
bodies breaking, bones breaking, people surviving crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Baki himself will be an excellent grappler, fighter, just kind
Hmm.
of basic Liu Kang type character, like just a
He
basic all
has
around good character.
he has wraps around his hands, right? Like he's just straight
Right.
up right, right, right. Definitely could be a cool kind of fa in your face character kind of rundown because to me, as much variety as Mortal Kombat has, it doesn't seem to have a character like uh Ryu from Street Fighter or kind of those
Yeah.
karate characters.
Yeah.
They did Cobra, but
Yeah. I remember him. Yeah, he was kind
who
of
likes
whack though.
who likes Cobra?
Yeah,
Exactly.
he was whack.
And so I think Baki would be a cool archetype
Yeah.
with that because they haven't done that since then, especially not in the way they do gameplay now, and it's the 2.5D. So I think that's a great call, actually. I've heard some things because I worked with people who watched the show, and they were like, "Oh, bro, this show, oh my gosh, bro."
At some points I had to like pause it because I'm like, yo, what did I just see? I don't know how these people live. It's crazy.
Man,
But yeah, I think Baki would be a good one. You have any
I
honorable
that's a good
mentions?
call. I do, but I had a really tough time. I tried to think of an anime character that because I love anime, my guy, and so I was
Yeah.
just trying to really think like, what anime character could I pick? And I couldn't think of any really that would fit for me. It was tough.
I'm
Maybe that just
surprised you didn't go with Mike Guy or Rock Lee.
because I don't want to see them die. They're my favorite, or Deku, or All Might. I went across all of it. Maybe Stain. Okay, on the spot, honorable mention. Stain would
From
be
My
tight
Hero.
for Mortal Kombat. Yeah, from My Hero. Because to me, Stain, he wrecks people. He's the hero killer. You know what I mean? He is
Yeah.
the killer. He's the Jack the Ripper of My Hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to my honorable mention on the spot, I had another one, but they just got replaced for Stain, just to match the anime build. Because I think with him, because they did Scarlet, so they have blood magic, and with the way technology is now, with the his sword and blood magic, and the way he paralyzes people with his quirk when he
Yeah.
licks their blood, I think that would be a cool thing to see him like stab somebody with a sword, pull out the sword, and you like see him lick it, and that
Yeah.
could be
Ooh,
one
that'd
of
be
his
creepy
special
too.
moves that could trap the opponent, and I don't know. I Now that my brain and his fatalities could be like you watch him weirdly lick his sword and then just like lacerate you like like a samurai who just clanks his sword and you fall to pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You have me thinking about My Hero now. I was like, you think All Might would be a good one?
I think all my maybe Nomu, but no, I
Not
think
All Might.
I don't think All Might because I struggle with seeing the characters that like getting
They're supposed
that
to be
type
good.
of messed up. No, I don't want to see All Might get cut in half. And how is Kung Lao going to cut All Might in half with his hat? But I guess that kind of thing. I'm getting Homelander. I'm getting Omni Man for All Might. I'm getting Omni Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good sub.
And
That's a good sub.
earlier in the introduction, you did mention that you read the article about how Omni Man and Homelander are gonna, officially play differently.
Yeah.
And that uh, just I am also really happy to hear that because there are some key differences, but there's not a lot of differences in their move set. And Homelander has heat vision and Omni-Man only, has the brute strength, and they both have the power of flight with brute strength.
Yeah.
But Omni-Man is much more refined of a fighter. Omni-Man is gonna tactfully take out his opponent, and Homelander is a crybaby, and he's just gonna be throwing punches and eye beams, But I'm really excited to see those characters as DLC in this game.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. Omni
Mhm.
Man's fatality. He's going to
Yeah.
kind of do the quick, kind of like he did on the alien planet. Kind of went through them super fast
Okay.
and destroyed. I'm calling that as it
Yeah.
is right now.
Okay. Every
And
character
then
has two.
yeah, so that's the only way I can think of for him. And then for
Yeah.
Homelander, he's definitely like laser blasting his mind in the face, melting it, kind of like he did the lady on season one.
See, I always think of the oh, that's a good one, the lady on season one. I always think of like the reporters whenever he like at the rally or whatever when he lasered the whole people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I always think he's probably gonna do something like that, like or
It's
have a
gonna be something
meltdown.
lasers.
But
Yeah,
it definitely is gonna be lasers because they do definitely want to differentiate those two characters. But um, I just
yeah.
wanted to touch base on that real quick. But do you have any more honorable mentions?
So yeah, my last one, it wasn't my ideal. I was actually
Yeah,
asking my wife.
yeah.
I was telling her about the episode, and she said she would love to see Shang-Chi as that.
Shang-Chi.
I was like that. I could see him doing it. He is more like it'd be like the quicker build character, fast punches,
Hmm.
fast kicks, all of
Right.
that, and his brutality would just clearly kick your head off.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so I can see that. I can see that.
I think having like the 10 rings would be cool. I think that could be done well. Like what if he had like kind of like the gates, but the rings were like you could open up one, two, three, four until you get to 10. And then if you do get to 10 before the fight's over, you have like a crazy high damage output for your combos.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
My wheels definitely started turning when you mentioned Shang-Chi, because I do think uh like the last characters, that there's not really the kung fu-esque archetype other than I guess Liu Kang, but I
Yeah,
mean he's a fire god now. I need someone who
yeah.
doesn't
He plays
throw
completely
dragons.
different. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you played the beta, man? So
I
tight.
did. Yeah.
So tight.
Uh, you got any other honorable mentions?
I have one more, and ironically, I also asked my fiance, because I said, "Hey, I'm real nervous for this, but what because I was having trouble thinking. I was like, I don't have a lot of ideas going into this. I'm really nervous because of the lack of ideas that I have right now. Oh my gosh. And her and I were talking, and so at first I mentioned Harley Quinn because they had the Joker in the last game,
Yeah,
but they did have the Joker in the last game, so I don't really want Harley Quinn. Like I don't want to copy and paste female version, you know.
yeah.
So Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn's best friend or love
Ooh,
interest, depending on how you view it.
yeah.
What show you watch or comic you read. Everyone reads different material in there, whatever.
Right.
But I think Poison Ivy would be really cool with like the a kiss of death and wrapping people up in ivy or plants and
Yeah,
squishing them. Kind of what Cetrion on Mortal Kombat 11 could have gone for, but done better because I hate that character.
yeah,
Uh, but I
yeah.
think Poison Ivy would be really cool. I think she could be really, really well done. And they had her
I
in
mean,
Injustice too, and she fights well in that. Just transfer that over better, like you did with Joker.
I was like, her fatality, of course, has to be the Phoenix flytrap coming in
Hmm.
and just
Oh
bite the character in
yeah.
half.
Yeah,
Like,
or
I
like
think that has to be
she
a
would kiss
fatality.
them and that would make them go do that. I think that would be tight because I agree. I didn't think of a Venus flytrap,
Oh,
but
or
that would be funny.
even like a big thorny rose, it like wraps
Mhm.
around the other character and just
Yeah,
like rips it, like just
yeah.
unspins and like rips it real fast. That would be cool.
See, you say that, but they kind of did that with Spawn on the last game with his chains, and
Oh
the
yeah,
the chains like wrap up around them, and you see the blood flirting, and
yeah,
it's dope. And I do think that would be cool, but I know that they would never repeat a guest character's fatality like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But while we're on the topic, I know that you've played some Mortal Kombat. I was just curious, what's your favorite guest DLC character that they've made?
Um, I would probably say I really enjoyed Predator. He
Yeah,
was really nice. Dang, you put me on the spot. Now I'm trying to think of like all the DLC characters that they've ever had. I would probably, off the top of my head, I would
yeah.
probably go Predator. What about
Predator.
you?
You
Yeah.
know, I I love Predator in that game. I also love Alien in that game. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I have terrible opinions, and Mortal Kombat 11 is my favorite Mortal Kombat. Uh,
Yeah.
and honestly, I would have to say it may not be my favorite character that they've done, but the best, or that my favorite character that they've made, but the character that I had most fun playing as would have to be the Joker. Just
Yeah.
they knocked the Joker out of the park with Mortal Kombat 11, going from Injustice 2 and then actually letting a DC comic property be in Mortal Kombat, WB, allowing that.
Yeah.
And then they just said we're gonna make it better than we've ever had the Joker be in all the games that he's been in with NetherRealm Studios. And it's just, oh my gosh, he really
Yeah.
is. He's so well done with the customization, the outfits. But the Predator was one of the first really awesome guest characters, him and Jason Voorhees, and
Yeah.
I have to give it to you. But I'm honestly an appreciator of all the guest characters, man.
Yeah. Um, well, Philip, I want to say thank you for joining me on this quest.
Yeah.
I look forward to some of our battles in Mortal Kombat when
Uh,
as we
I'm
play.
waiting.
Yeah, I will say for people out there, I'm not the best at fighting games, and if you want these hands, I will put you in contact with my boy Philip, and I'll let him give you the hands.
It's all right. When I play you, Jordan, I just won't use characters that I like. That's what I do. No, I'm just joking. But I really can't wait, man. And if anybody ever does, they get Mortal Kombat 1 and they want to play, I'm more than happy. I love playing Mortal Kombat with other people.
So, all right, well, that's it. We out.